Okay, 4 game-changing shifts that transform my training. That's the promise today. Shift number 1. I can do a little bigger screen here. Yeah, there we go. Less ego lifting. Okay, more intentional. My graphics all over the place. This, I honestly, admittedly, I see this a lot more with guys than ladies. Because oftentimes what I see more often is not pushing yourself, and there's a fine line to walk here, but just know if you load up the bar and you chase a weight that you're not ready for, your form goes to crap. That's when you really put yourself at injury risk, and you're not stimulating the muscle. Stimulate, don't annihilate. We really want to chase control, maximum tension, full range of motion, and ultimately getting those reps that matter at the end. That's what matters, right? It's the real struggle at the end to perform with good form. But we don't want that happening on rep 1. That means you're using too much, right? So earn the right to go heavy is the takeaway there. Nice job, Sean, on the MyFitnessPal streak. Okay. Makes sense. Type of 1 so far, if this is resonating. Type a yes if this actually is you. I'd love to see some honesty today. I don't think it's too commonplace for who we have on this call, but it was certainly common for me. Get into a commercial gym, you're surrounded by people lifting heavier, you sort of feel compelled to do it. Don't, especially if you're at home. No need. All right. So we talk about progressive overload. The truth is you don't have to add weight each week to make progress. You know, we want that full range of motion, quality control, really perfect reps and form. And this is what this call is often about. Abby takes the lead on that every week. We try to show you the most commonly flagged exercises that people perform poorly, and we go through it. And we'll have time for that again today. But keep this in mind. You can make progress by slowing down the rep, making them more challenging for yourself, adding reps, and eventually adding weight. But don't make that the first move, especially if you're already struggling with the weight you're using. Shift 2, and like Shauna said a few weeks back, like this might have been inspired by The Biggest Loser TV show and this whole sweat till you drop. That's how you burn off the fat. It's sweating. You sweat out body fat, which is, technically not true. Most of it's breathed out. And that's where it perpetuates this desire for boot camps and heart rate monitoring and doing burpees between sets and feeling destroyed. Like there is a time and place to push yourself, but the workout isn't better if you're left gasping from it, especially so if you're having to compromise on the weight you're using and the form you're using. Okay. And I think most of you guys understand that fat loss is driven by what you do outside the gym. Your nutritional choices, your sleep, your overall steps and movement actually play a bigger role in your calorie burn than anything you might do in a 30 to 60-minute workout by far. So don't confuse cardio disguised as strength training. That's why we structure our workouts, even with supersets, by like non-competing muscle groups. I'll talk about that more because the science is clear. If you get more rest between sets, you perform better, you give yourself more potential response in terms of muscle building, and obviously your form and injury risk goes way down. Okay. Makes sense. Any questions, feel free to drop in the chat. We're almost there already. So I think this was already talked about. So shift number 3, more rest than you think. And this is really flies in the face of the group fitness model where it's, you got to be moving constantly. Got to be some sort of movement, sweating, weights in your hand, doing a circuit. And, it keeps you interested and not bored. I guess that's the rationale behind it. But purely from a results perspective, that can be counterproductive. The science shows like 90 seconds to 2 minutes rest between exercises allows you to perform better form, really maximize strength, and get those last few reps at the end because you're not pre-fatigued. And I call it the CalFit way, but this isn't really my information. It's just supersets can save us time and still provide those necessary rest periods we need. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. Because I don't think any of us have time to sit around the gym chatting between sets and be there for hours at a time. But if you structure it in the way we do, You get around that, you still get the necessary rest to perform with maximum weight and form. And supersets tend to allow for that variety we want without sitting around too much. And that you can still squeeze it into 30 minutes. All right. Yeah, I talked about this, and the research is showing more and more that the rest is where the magic happens. Even during the lift, like we want to create that damage in your muscle fibers. And that's largely driven by muscle, the weight you're using, the max tension you're using, and getting to those last few reps at the end when it becomes a grind. It's not by sweating and moving as fast as possible. All right. And then we kind of talked about this a lot, but your body recovers outside of the gym during sleep. So it's that holistic approach to get results. A lot of people that are going to group classes 4 or 5 times a week that don't see any measurable progress because everything else is not in place. Right. All right. And last but not least is how you structure your workouts. Workout splits is kind of the term in the industry. I used to do like just chest day on Mondays, very cliche, arm day, leg day. And yes, you can get enough volume and still see results that way. It's just a lot smarter to split it off into full body or upper lower splits. Why? Well, you're training actually your muscles more frequently that way versus once every 7 days. It's once every 3, 4 days. Like Monday, you might do an exercise for arms and then again on Friday. And frequency shows benefits mainly because you're fresher for each of those sets. If you're trying to do 12 sets for your legs on Monday, I imagine sets 6 through 12, you're compromising a bit. You're pre-fatigued, probably not getting close to failure. Your form is starting to break down, all those things. Whereas in this way, it's a lot fresher and we look at movement patterns more than anything. Okay, so don't worry too much about it. We're just telling you the why behind the how here. You guys have your programs built out. If you have questions about them specifically, by all means, but we've optimized for all these things. And saving you the trial and error that I've gone through myself, Abby as well. All right. So it's not about burning calories. If there's one takeaway from this is trying to outrun your fork, burn calories through exercise alone, really poor strategy for that reason. It's about building yourself up, feeling capable, strong. It definitely translates in other areas of life, but think of the strength training as a stimulus to preserve muscle and bone and tone, and everything else, what's going to drive fat loss and weight loss. Once you make that pivot, you'll enjoy your workouts more, for one. Okay. I wrote some long message here that you can screenshot, but I won't get into that. Okay, so I'd love to hear from the group. Like, what did you do in the past that you thought was non-negotiable that actually didn't turn out very well? Or what have you learned while in the program? I'd be curious to see if this message is really resonating with people or if they're just following orders by going through our workouts. Like, are you starting to understand the rationale for it? I think that's key. Getting off the hit hamster wheel, as I call it. Because those workouts, if you're a sucker for punishment, awesome. But we're trying to get the most from the least here. And we've learned over trial and error what works best. So that's what we're trying to pass on to you guys. All righty. Pull back the screen here. We've got a hand raised. Shauna, fire away. Unless you did that accidentally. I can't see you now.
My unmute. Okay, you talked about this on one of your slides about the whole Biggest Loser thing, about what the role of workouts are in your fitness plan. And I think that was the biggest misconception I had before joining CalFit, was thinking, if you just get in and kill yourself in the gym, that's part of weight loss, and it's not. So that was the biggest misconception. However, I do, it's losing weight is a long game, and it's really hard to keep your head in it because there's not a lot of immediate gratification. So getting on your workout clothes and going to the gym or going downstairs and grabbing your weights and doing 15 to a half an hour of training is something you have control over. So I think for me anyways, at least it is something you can do in the short term that is immediate that you feel like you're making advances on your fitness program. So I think you said that on your last slide. It's sort of agency. It's about, having control. So for me recently, like, cause even the strength gains, I mean, I see them now, but it's taken a long time to get there. So, but it is something like going for a walk or doing your strength training is something you can do right away. And it's kind of an action based as opposed to refusing to have that cake at the end of the meal or whatever is a little bit more obvious. So yeah, it's more something action based as opposed to denial based. Yeah, that's just a comment.
Yeah, I love it. It's the ultimate form of delayed gratification, fitness. And we all know that's consistency is the path forward and everything, but it's hard to see the light sometimes when you're not seeing measurable results. I always think of exercise as the magic pill for everything but the fat loss because of my mood, my energy levels, my confidence, strength. Like it's the laundry list of benefits from exercise is insane. It's just not for fat loss alone. And that's what people lose sight of. Like it's one of the biggest tools to living longer, healthier, avoiding disease. I can just go on and on. So if you can get a good relationship with working out, do it not as a form of punishment to burn calories, it's more of this tool to really benefit your life in all areas. That helps too with compliance. Abby, feel free to chime in at any point. I'm just reading the chat. Jackie says, do I have to rest between sets when doing two different body groups? That's the idea with how we structure most of our workouts is non-competing muscle groups. So triceps, biceps, they're both arms, but they really work differently. So you can pair biceps with the tricep movement and not have it kind of compromise one or the other. So for
Can
the most part, yeah,
I say something?
yeah,
Um, what I notice is clients tend to do their own thing with some of these workouts. And look, guys, it's set up for a reason. The exercises are there for a reason, and the rest periods are there for a reason. So if you're not following what I have, you're essentially not doing the program. Okay, so it's very important that you're following, the structure of how we have the workouts and the rest periods versus, oh, well, I don't feel like resting that long. They're there and they're designed for a purpose and for a reason. So I just wanted to make a comment on that. Um, just to clarify.
that's good to share because especially so if you don't need that rest, maybe your set wasn't challenging enough, and they're set up deliberately so that if you really push yourself, then you need the rest in order to get back and do the same thing over again, right? So keep that in mind. Try to self-assess the intensity scale of 1 out of 10. Was that set pushing up against 8 or 9 out of 10? Are we starting to struggle near the end? While maintaining good form. Keep that disclaimer in mind.
Can
Then
I
yes, you're doing good.
can I make another comment?
Yeah.
This is directly at Abby. Abby, I love that some of the videos are now you doing the exercises as demo. I miss our live workouts, and it's great to see you demoing. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, unfortunately, the ones we had done through the app, some of the one guy is pretty good. The other guy was, I don't know where he learned his form, but there are issues with it. So I'm glad Abby was able to step up and add to our library. That's still on my project list.
Yeah,
To,
Abby's good.
but
I mean, everybody who is new to CalFit may not know that Abby has a physio background, and so she's good at giving alternates. If you like, I have had knee surgery in my history, and she's good at giving alternates for exercises. It's always been great to see the modifications in there.
yeah,
Yeah, thank you. I'm trying to think about that more as like they said, Mitch, it's definitely a project, to put our own videos in there, and it does, we're just trying to do that, little by little, and just making sure that you guys have solid, opportunities to do what works best for you and your body too. So describing those alternates in the videos, yeah, I'm trying to think more about that too.
yeah. And the frustrating part is the native videos tend to run better. The YouTube link
Hmm.
sometimes it gets bogged down and the options.
Yeah.
Yeah, their system could use some improvements there. But if you have form checks, again, I'll make this point like we do every Wednesday on this call. Just film yourself. Everyone, to my knowledge, has a smartphone or you wouldn't have the app. So you can hit record, perform the movement, send it privately to your coach, and we can identify especially if the movement doesn't feel right. Okay, what do we got here? Jason? I'm working out in the gym instead of waiting for the next piece of equipment. Can you just jump to the next? Oh yeah. Most cases, yes. Sometimes there's a rationale to the sequence of movements to warm up the joints or how they're kind of structured to work off of one another. But for the most part, I think it's pretty flexible that way. I think you would say the same, Abby, especially in the commercial gym at peak times. Pretty difficult to follow the plan exactly as laid out. Shout out to home gyms. Couldn't go back to a commercial gym myself. Oh yeah. Okay. My screen is acting wonky here. Weird. You guys all disappeared for a second there, but you're back. You can hear me still? Okay, cool. All right. Any other questions? Workout Wednesday. So the focus is all about what you're doing in those 30-ish minutes. Jackie's sink is on full display right now. Knives be cleaned. Is that Irene?
Yeah.
Oh, got it.
The most of the workouts are great where there's a 30-second or 45-second, sometimes 60-second break between them. It's when you get near the end and there are 3 workouts in a row with 15 seconds in between, it gets a little brutal.
Good to know. Yeah, sometimes we do the conditioning finishers with less rest, kind of as the end piece, but by all means, pause as required. You can do that through the app, right? You can kind of pause it to reset and get yourself in position. You don't have to adhere perfectly. We were just, I think Abby was referring to those people just kind of freestyling the whole thing. And that's not what
If I hit pause on my tablet or cell phone, it automatically stops the whole darn thing and you don't start right again at that same spot. It means you have to go all the way back to the beginning or go to the beginning and work it through till you get to where you were, which takes quite a bit of time.
Yeah, that's not ideal. That doesn't happen for me. So let me, I don't
Yeah,
know
it should just, if you
screenshot
hit the pause button, it should just pause. So I don't know why that would be happening.
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
there's 10 workouts.
it just pauses for me, so I don't know what that's doing.
I know you can exit workout and then it will go all the way back, but that's a couple extra steps. So the pause on the timer should work fine. I'm not sure if it matters what device you're on, Irene, but we'll have to look into that for you. Not sure. Yeah, that's a surprise to me. Normally it's pretty straightforward. I don't know if you can screen share or video it next time and we can send it off to someone with more IT knowledge than myself. That would help. Okay. Anything else on this topic?
I have a question if Abby's coming up for the in-person day.
We were trying to make that work. Not this time. No.
Aw.
No. Maybe next spring.
It's not the travel from here to there is like
awful.
It's brutal.
Yeah. No direct flights. They got to change that.
Yeah.
I don't think that's in the works. Yeah. Maybe in Orlando because of Disney World. I think he'd be good, but Tampa not so much. Fortunately. Okay. Good ask though. Yeah. So again, you guys are interested. Don't be shy. This whole process is about getting out of your comfort zone. If you're available Saturday, 11 to 1, not this Saturday, the following, I would definitely RSVP, come meet people in the flesh. Judgment-free zone will be some fun games, but you don't have to participate in that part. But yeah, should be a good time.
Mitch, is there going to be a group workout like we did with Rebecca? Or just...
That's not in the works right now. I have some games instead. So
All right.
we'll plan for a full workout. Just want to try a new angle here. See how that goes. All right. Guess we can leave that here. I'll be sure to get the replay out by the end of the day. And if you have specific form checks, we can certainly provide those for you as coaches. I can even send it off to Abby if I'm not quite sure if it's something we're working around injury-wise. The team is there for you to use. So don't be afraid to film yourself on an exercise you're not sure of. And we can course correct for you. All right. Keep rolling. Talk to you guys soon.